Hey Life Group leaders, Tim Osmus here. I want to give you the update for 12/2/2018 and then talk about what's going to be coming up on 12/9/2018. Before I get into those things, I want to mention something very quickly to you about our communication process. We have a lot of classes that do a very great job with their communication process, but I am one of those who believes that you cannot over-communicate, but you can very easily under-communicate. The two things that I want to mention to you today are, first of all, Facebook. I know there are a few age groups in the church that do not use Facebook, but most age groups do. We have several classes that have very effective Facebook pages, and I'd like to ask you, each of your classes, to check your status on Facebook and make sure that your Facebook page is up to date and somebody owns it. It's a great way to get prayer requests out. It's a great way to let people know what's going on in your class. And I'd like to ask just to make sure that we are using that very effective tool. Now, the second tool that I want to mention to you is one that I've been using a lot lately, and that's a group text. I read some things the other day when I was looking at some group text type software that about 98% of texts that are sent are opened and read, and about 20% of emails that are sent are opened and read. If you're like me, your emails get so full of just people trying to sell you stuff that good emails that you want to open just get lost in the shuffle. So group text is a good way to communicate with your class. If you're not doing so, I would encourage you to give that a try. So that's two important methods of communication I'd like to make sure that most of our classes, the classes that can, are using them. That's group text and a Facebook page. Now, let's jump into the numbers from last week. We were at 254. We had 238 at Dalton and 16 at Highway 76. So let's encourage our people to be in life groups. And then we have the hospital meal ministry that's coming up this week. We have the Joy ladies class is in charge of that. If you need any help or need any information about that, please contact Peggy Osmus. Now remember, on December the 16th in the PM service, we have our reindeer games. That's at 6 p.m. in the fellowship area, and we'll be doing games as a class. It's going to be similar to what we did in the fall, except it will be more indoor related games. And one thing that we're doing here is we're going to have our classes, ask our classes to dress up as some Christmas movie that you all enjoy, or some Christmas theme, a nativity scene, or maybe The Grinch That Stole Christmas, Charlie Brown Christmas, something like that. And do this as a group. Don't do it as individuals. You don't want one person from your class coming as the Grinch and another person coming as Charlie Brown. It just would get confusing. We want to try to make this kind of a group activity. Don't have to make it real complicated, but it will be something that'll be fun, and it will be part of the measurement and part of the point system in those reindeer games. Also remember, if you've not already done this, and I've saw several classes that have already done this, if you haven't scheduled a Christmas gathering, I would encourage you to do a Christmas gathering. It's a great time to fellowship. It's a great time to invite those prospects, or maybe somebody that hadn't been in a while. They will come to a Christmas event if you'll invite them, and I encourage you to do that. A couple of other things that are going on in the near future, in the next week or so. This Sunday is baby dedication at the Highway 76 campus, and then in the PM service we will be presenting the 2019 ministry and budget plan. You'll want to see that. You'll want to know what we're doing to be good stewards of God's money. And then we have the preschool and children's musical will be in the AM service on December the 16th. Lastly, I want to mention to you that during the month of October, you'll remember that we did pastor appreciation for Brian and his family. And then now what we're going to do during this Christmas season is recognize our other ministers. That's Ryan Ralston from Fort Oglethorpe, Clint Strickland, who's our administrative pastor, and Mark C. from Spring Place. There's a basket in the foyer of the Highway 76 and the Fort Oglethorpe campuses that will be there up into December the 23rd. So grab a card, maybe a gift card, I don't know, whatever you'd like to give them, and recognize these men and their families, because we sometimes just don't understand the sacrifice that they make to make sure that our church is ministered to in the proper way. I believe that's all we have for this week. I just want to back up and thank each one of you again for all that you do. You're such an important part of what goes on at Liberty. Life Group is so important. It is a proven fact that people that become a part of a life group, a small group, they are the people that are going to stay, and they are truly what makes Liberty tick and what keeps Liberty moving forward for the gospel. Thank you for all you do, and I'll see you Sunday morning at 8:30.